Hello everyone and welcome to ECI 586, an Introduction to Learning Analytics. This course is part of the new graduate certificate program in Learning Analytics that just recently became official. The course is technically a prerequisite course for the program, so if you are interested in our more advanced courses, this course will sit you up pretty nicely for our Learning Analytics courses in machine learning, text mining, and network analysis. In this video, I'm going to be providing you with a pretty quick overview of the course goals, structure, and general teaching philosophy, as well as the first few tasks of the week. All this information, however, is explained in much more detail in the course syllabus. First, however, a little information about your instructor. I'm Dr. Sean Kellogg. I'm the director of the Friday Institute's Research and Evaluation team, and I earned my PhD right here at NC State University. I've been with the Friday Institute since 2011, and my team's research and evaluation work falls into one or more of the following categories. We focus on educational innovations. So, for example, our work on one-to-one initiatives and our massively open online courses for educators. We also do quite a bit of work focused on educational equity, including work designed to broaden participation in STEM education and computer science. And lastly, we do a lot of work with schools, districts, educators, researchers focused on building their capacity to use data. One example is our Learning Analytics for STEM Education Researchers Institute that was recently recommended for funding by NSF. Prior to my work in research and evaluation, however, I spent about 10 years in the classroom as an elementary teacher, first as a Peace Corps volunteer in Romania and later teaching in the public school systems of Michigan and North Carolina. In addition to developing and teaching workshops and courses in learning analytics, text mining, and network analysis, I've also taught for Learn-NC many years ago, which was an online professional development platform run by UNC Chapel Hill. On a more personal note, this is my lovely wife Amanda and my two kids, Kat and Wiley, short for Catherine and William. And that tiny little speck right there in front of my wife is our new puppy Howie, who we are working very hard to potty train right now. Even though my wife and I are Michigan natives and return home when we can, the Blue Ridge Mountains have become one of our favorite travel destinations. My wife is also a kindergarten teacher here in Wake County Schools, so it's nice to keep in touch with the classroom on a pretty regular basis. Goals for the Introduction to Learning Analytics course are guided by the North Carolina State University model, Think and Do. Specifically, this course aims to help you deepen your understanding of learning analytics as an emerging field, including its application in a wide range of educational settings, and also to help you develop your proficiency with processes, tools, techniques necessary to explore and analyze new sources of educational data. And specifically for this course, we're going to be focusing on the effective use of data visualization to help understand and improve learning and the context in which learning occurs. In addition to the first week of orientation, this course is divided into 4 3-week long units. And each unit is going to explore a different aspect of learning analytics and some analytical approaches for exploratory analysis. In Unit 1, for example, we're going to focus just on getting introduced to the concept and definitions and characteristics of learning analytics as it's discussed in the field, and also just get up and running with some basic mechanics for reading data and doing some basic summarization of data. In Unit 2, we're going to shift a little bit to focusing on data workflows. Specifically, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, much of this course is going to focus on exploratory data analysis with an emphasis on data visualization. And in Unit 2, we'll also get an introduction to basic visual design for data visualizations. In Unit 3, we shift our emphasis to truth, beauty, and ethics. By ethics, I mean ethical issues and privacy associated with learning analytics in the field, and from a visualization perspective and analysis, making truthful visualizations that are aesthetically pleasing. And then finally, in Unit 4, we're going to shift a little bit to focus on telling stories with data and, from a technical perspective, developing interactive dashboards. Each unit has three basic activities. Week one of each unit is going to focus on readings and discussion. In week two, we're going to be doing some software tutorials just to develop some proficiency and develop our comfort level with some of the tools we'll be using in this course. Those tutorials are going to be mostly done through our subscription service to LinkedIn Learning. Finally, each unit in the third week has a data product that we'll be creating, which for the most part is going to be visualizations, doing an analysis of data. And then finally, at the very end of this course, the last 2 weeks of the course, in lieu of final exams, you'll be doing a final project where you incorporate all of the lessons learned from the previous units into one single data analysis and data product. Finally, I wanted to talk a little bit about flexibility and support in this course. There is quite a bit of flexibility in this course to tailor it to your professional context and personal interest. So for example, at the very beginning, you're going to be asked to select the software that you want to use for analysis throughout the course. And you'll also have several opportunities during the course to select specific readings or videos that are a little bit more aligned to what your professional setting is or your own personal interests with respect to learning analytics. This course also adheres to the principle of BYOD. Even though I'll be providing you with educational data sets for analysis throughout the course, you are highly encouraged, if you have access to it, to bring your own data into the course for analysis and for some of the mini projects, and especially for the final project at the end of the course. And then finally, there's quite a bit of flexibility with respect to assignments. I've had students, for example, in the past ask for some tweaks or some replacements of certain assignments in order to better leverage some of the course concepts and course teachings to fit their own personal settings. So if there's ever something the course that can be adapted in the course to better suit your learning preferences, just make sure you let me know and we can adapt some of these assignments to better fit your needs. Finally, lastly, with respect to support, I do aim to have any troubleshooting that you run into, and you will run into some troubleshooting in this course. Any questions you have, any issues, to resolve those issues within a single day. Keep in mind that I am working full-time at the Friday Institute, and sometimes it's just not possible to respond that quickly, but I'm usually pretty prompt. In most cases, a lot of the support provided we can usually resolve just asynchronously through emails or through other means. In many cases, though, and this has happened quite a bit in the past, where we'll set up some synchronous just one-on-one meetings via Zoom or some other video conferencing tool and help you kind of work through those in real time. There are a lot of tutorials in this course for the software. Other people do these really, really well. So we'll be using a lot of tutorials that have already been developed through LinkedIn Learning, which we have a subscription to at NC State. Most of my time when it comes to developing videos is going to be focused on those specific questions and issues and needs that you have that are going to be very specific to what you're trying to do. So there will be a lot of kind of custom videos created specifically for students in the course. Then finally, an important aspect of support in this course is leaning on each other when we run into issues. You'll see for most of the assignments in the course, there's going to be a help forum set up. In many cases, someone in the course will have run into the same issue and solved it and will be able to respond even more quickly than I can. So that brings us to your first task for week one. You effectively just have 3 tasks for this week. The first 2 are pretty easy to knock out. I'm going to be sending you via email a learner agreement to quote unquote sign. This will just lay out some expectations for participating in an online course, and I'll also be sharing with you the course syllabus for you to review. That's going to go into much more detail, some of the things I discussed in this video. I'm also going to ask that you post an introduction. This is my introduction. I'm going to ask you to post an introduction in one of our discussion forums and say hi to at least 3 of your peers. And then finally, and very importantly, this week your big decision will be the selection of the software you'll be using in this course. So we have the option of using Tableau or R. One is open source, one is proprietary. For Tableau, you will be given a student license, so you'll have free use of it for an entire year. Once you select that software, you'll be required to install it and then just become a little familiar with the software, just kind of tool around a little bit and just become a little bit comfortable with the interface and get a sense of uh, what the software entails. There will be some videos that'll walk you through sort of the interface for each of the software. So that's kind of it for our first week. Again, welcome to ECI 586, Introduction to Learning Analytics. I'm really looking forward to working with you all throughout the semester.